We've got some really easy battle traits for the Daughters of Cain. Once per battle, in any combat phase for command point. It's kind of weird that it's once per battle and spends a command point. That's a little weird. But you can pick a friendly Daughters of Cain infantry unit that is in combat to use this ability. The unit can use 2 fight abilities this phase. After the first is used, this unit has Strike Last for the rest of the turn. And then passive, you've got Blood Rights. Basically, a different effect applies in each battle round, as shown below. The effects of all previous battle rounds also apply to those units. So battle round 1, you add 1 to run and charge rolls. Battle round 2, you add 1 to charge rolls. Battle round 3, add 1 to hit rolls. Battle round 4, add 1 to wound rolls. And battle round 5, add 1 to your attacks characteristic. Battle formations, you've got the Scath Coven, Speed of the Scathborn. If an unmodified charge roll for a friendly Melusae or Canary unit is an 8+, they get the strike first for the rest of the turn. And then you've got your invocations. You've got the Blade Wind, health of 7, 12-inch move, 6-up save, and 7-up banishment. Melee weapons, Bladed Vortex, 9 attacks, 3-up, rend 1 damage. A crit is 2 hits. And in any combat phase, if it's charged, pick an enemy unit. On a 3-up, ignore positive modifiers to save rolls for the rest of the turn. And it has a ward of 6-up. Honestly, I feel like the Blade Wind is a pretty weak invocation, because 6-up save, 6-up ward, and 7 health means it can quite easily get taken out by enemies shooting or attacks. So, I don't know. We'll see about that one. Morathi Cain, 6 health, 6-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. Heartrender and Bladed Wings, 5 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 2 damage. Mirror Dance, it's a casting value of 7, and if you can only cast it if you already have a Shadow Queen, and you basically can swap places with the Shadow Queen after laying down some tokens. Passive is basically each time a damage point is allocated to Morathi Cain, she can shrug it off to the Shadow Queen. And if an ability would kill Morathi Cain, it instead does 3 damage to the Shadow Queen. But if the Shadow Queen is destroyed, this unit is also automatically destroyed. And note, you can't make ward saves on the allocated damage to the Shadow Queen. Sorceress Supreme, you add 1 to the casting rolls, and you've got a 6-up ward and Wizard 3. The Shadow Queen has 12 health, 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 10. The Gaze of the Shadow Queen, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 2-up, rend 3, d6 damage, can shoot in combat. Heartrender, 8 attacks, 3-up, rend 2, 3 damage, crits are mortals. Crown of Serpents, 2d6 attacks, 4-up, no rend 1 damage. And Envenomed Tail, 1 attack, 3-up, 2 rend 6 damage. The Iron Heart of Cain means you can't allocate more than 3 damage. Once 3 damage points have been allocated, any further damage would be ignored. And basically, you can't get healed, and you can't be auto-killed, instead deal 3 damage. Fury of the Shadow Queen is once per turn. Pick an enemy unit, roll on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. If any are slain, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of Chimera and Melusae within 12 inches, and it has a ward of 6-up. The Sisters of Slaughter have 1 health, 6-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. The Krupalash is 2 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, no rend 1 damage, but it's anti-infantry. You subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks that target this unit. And your Bladed Bucklers, each time you make an unmodified save roll of 6-up, you inflict 1 mortal damage after the fight has been resolved, and they have a ward of 6-up. So kind of really low, not very damaging attacks, and pretty squishy, but they do have some special abilities that make them a little bit more, well, just versatile. The Canary Heartrenders, 2 health, 12-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. The Barbed Javelin, 12-inch range, 2 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1 damage, and crits or auto wounds. The Barbed Javelin melee attack is 1 attack, 3-up, 4-up, no rend 1 damage. In the deployment phase, if it's not been deployed, you can set it up in the skies and then bring it anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 from enemies in your movement. And in any shooting phase, if this unit used a shoot ability, it can then move d6 inches. It cannot move into combat, and then has a ward of 6 up, so pretty maneuverable unit for the Daughters of Cain. So Spearhead, you've got the battle traits, Quickening Bloodlust, add 1 to run rolls, Headlong Fury, add 1 to charge rolls, Zealot's Rage, add 1 to hit, and Slaughterer's Strength, add 1 to wound. So basically the same. Then you've got your Bloodstalkers, 2 health, 8-inch move, 5 up save, control 1. Their bow attacks, 18-inch range, 3 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, rend 1, 1 damage, crit is an auto wound. And the Cianlars, 2 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, no rend, 1 damage. And then their passive is shooting attacks made by this unit score critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of 5 up, if this unit did not use a move ability in the same turn. And of course having that classic Daughters of Cain 6 up ward. So pretty cool new rules that we got this today. Battle traits for the Lumineth Realm Lords. You've got lightning reactions. When players are alternating picking units to do the fight, you pick 2 units instead of 1. And then you've got your different facets of war, of which you can only use 1, like regular other kind of battle trait abilities. So Shining Company, subtract 1 to hit from Venari. Move like the wind, pick up to 3 Hurricane units. They can move in the shooting phase, but they can't shoot. Power of Hish, pick a Venari. They score critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of 5 up. Deep Thinkers, pick a add 1 to casting rolls for Skinari. And Enduring as Rock, subtract 1 from Rend that attack Alarith units for the rest of the turn. So some pretty powerful and versatile battle traits. The Alarith Temple battle formation gives you Alarith Fortitude, is you can use the Enduring as Rock ability in addition to the other facet of war ability. Manifestation of Hiss, casting value of 4, you basically put it around a Realm Lord's infantry hero. All 3 points must touch each other to form a ring. No health, no move, no save, 7 up banishment. The target that's inside has a ward of 4 up. If it's a wizard, you add 1 to the power. Instead of measuring range from the unit, you pick the manifestation. Manifestation can't be the target of abilities other than banishments. And if the unit makes a move that's inside of it, the manifestation is removed from play. Pretty powerful protecting spell that can't be destroyed in combat, like you would other endless spells and invocations. Elania and Elithor, 8 health, 6-inch move, 4 up save, control 4, Blazing Sunbolt, 12-inch range, 3 attacks, 2 up, 3 up, rend 2, d3 damage, crit auto wound. Alteri, 5 attacks, 2 up, 3 up, 1 rend 2 damage. Dianair, 2 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, 1 rend d3 damage. In your hero phase, you pick whether Elania or Elithor will take lead. Elania gives you a 4-up ward and you get to cast an extra spell. And Elithor, you get to add the damage of Alteri is equal to 2 plus the battle round. Total Eclipse, casting value of 8. You pick an enemy unit within 18 inches, and when the first time they try and do a command on them, you have to spend an additional command point. Translocation, if you kill a unit in combat, you basically can teleport up to 9 inches away from enemies, and you must make Elania lead next. Wizard, casting value of 1, and Severith, 10 health, 18-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. Inathari, the Howling Death, 12-inch range, 4 attacks, 2 up, 3 up, rend 3, d3 plus 1 damage, and can shoot in combat. Swirling Shard, 6 attacks, 2 up, 4 up, 1 rend, 1 damage. And the Living Gale, it cannot be targeted for shooting attacks made by enemy units that are more than 9 from that unit. Once per turn in the combat phase, you pick up to 3 different enemy units in combat, roll a d3, on a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll, and subtract 1 from wound rolls for their attacks. And passive Spirit of the Wind, while friendly Hurricane units are wholly within 12 inches, they can shoot and or use charge abilities even if they use the run or retreat, and no damage is done when they retreat. Also has a ward of 5 up, really powerful character. The Alarith Stone Guard, 2 health, 4-inch move, 4 up save, control 1. They're Stone Guard hammers, 2 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage. Their passive is Fortitude of the Earth. They have a ward of 5 up, while all of its models are contesting an objective you control. And that's about it for them. Really solid kind of infantry unit, but not too complicated. In much the same way, the Venari Arlen Wardens are pretty simple war scroll. 1 health, 6-inch move, 4 up save, control 1. Their Warden pikes and blades are 2 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, no rend, 1 damage. Crits are mortal, and it is anti-charge, giving an additional +1 rend on charging enemies. And then in combat phase, they've got the Wall of Blades. If they did not charge and is in combat with an enemy unit that has charge, roll a dice, add 1 to the roll. If the enemy unit is cavalry, on a 4-up, the unit gets strike first for the rest of the turn. So in battle traits, you've got the Facet of War as well. You can only pick 1 on each battle round. And so you've got Shining Company, subtract 1 to hit for attacks that target the friendly unit. Once per phase, when they attack you. Once per turn in your hero phase, roll dice on a 2-up. Attacks score 5 up on 5 ups. And then passive is lightning reactions. When players are alternating, you can pick 2 instead of 1. Then the Venari Blade Lords, 2 health, 6-inch move, 4 up save, control 1. You've got your Sunmetal Great Blade, perfect strike, 1 attack, but we'll see below. The Flurry of Blows, 3 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, rend 1, 1 damage, crit is mortal and anti-infantry. Basically, the perfect strike is 2 up, do immortal damage, and they get a ward of 5 up and give a ward of 5 up to heroes. Battle traits for the Hedonites of Slaanesh, you have an Excess of Depravity, pick up to 3 friendly Hedonites of Slaanesh, they get the Euphoric keyword. Each friendly unit you pick, you give your opponent a Temptation dice. They can use it to replace a wound roll, save roll, ward roll, or run roll with a 6, or they can use 2 to replace 2 of their dice in a charge roll for a 6. Each time they use it, on a 1 to 2, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. At the end of the battle round, Temptation dice are lost that are not used. Euphoric Killers, when a friendly unit has the Euphoric keyword, they get crit 2 hits, and they can run and shoot and charge. So, pretty interesting battle traits. I feel like maybe it would be kind of beneficial to use the Temptation dice on some pretty powerful attacks if you're playing against them, but then again, it is a risk. But it's only a 33% chance, so I don't know. Battle formations, you have the Depraved Carnival with the Ecstatic Throngs passive. You add 1 to hit rolls for Sybarite infantry while they're damaged, or if have any models slain in the same turn. And then, Arcana and Incantations, you've got the spell Sadistic Spite, cast on a 6. Pick a friendly wizard to cast and pick a friendly euphoric unit, then make a casting roll of 2d6. They have crit mortal instead of crit 2 hits, so pretty cool kind of way to switch up the way your battle trait functions. Very interesting. Shalaxi Hellbane, 16 health, 14-inch move, 4 up save, control 5. Soul Piercer, 6 attacks, 2 up, 3 up, rend 2, 3 damage, and is anti-hero. Impaling Claws, 2 attacks, 3 up, 2 rend, 4 damage. And then only has 4 attacks with Soul Piercer if he's taken 10 or more damage. Passive is subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks at target. It has a casting value of 4 spell of Refined Senses. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls that target enemy heroes, add 1 to save rolls made by enemy heroes that target this unit. And then once per turn, reaction when your opponent declared a charge ability, you can basically charge 2d6 and negate the hero's charge abilities. And then once per battle in your combat phase, pick a friendly non-hero of Slaanesh unit wholly within 12. They can use 2 fight abilities. After the first, the second has strike last. And Wizard 2, ward of 5 up. The Fiends have 4 health, 10-inch move, 5 up save, control 1, Deadly Pinchers and Barbed Stinger, 4 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, rend 1, d3 damage, and is anti-monster and companion. Superferic Musk, pick an enemy unit in combat, roll a dice on a 4 up that gets strike last. Passive is Disrupting Song, subtract 1 from casting and unbinding of enemy wizards while they're within 12 of this unit, and it has a maximum control score of 1, and a ward of 6 up. The Symbarish Twin Souls have 2 health apiece, 6-inch move, 4 up save, control 1. Their merciless weapons are 4 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, rend 1, 1 damage. Ego-driven excess passive, if they did not charge, subtract 1 from attacks of melee weapons used while they're in combat. And Fiendish reflexes, if they didn't charge, they have a ward of 5 up. So really strong if they are charged and do not charge into combat themselves. The Fane of Slaanesh has 10 health, 4 up save, and is cover and impassable. In your hero phase, you can pick a friendly Hedonites of Slaanesh unit wholly within 12, allocate D3 damage points to the unit. Ward rolls can't be made. Then pick one of the following effects. Add 1 to wound, add 1 to run and charge, or add 1 to casting and unbinding. And then the faction terrain also has a 6-up ward. Kind of risky play with this terrain feature, but can be pretty powerful. Spear point rules are similar but different. You receive 6 temptation dice. You can offer them to the opponent whenever they roll to change one of their dice to a 6. If they choose it, you get d6 depravity points. If they don't choose it, they suffer d3 mortal damage on the unit. You can't offer it to a unit more than once per phase. All dice lost at the end of the battle round. Then based off the amount of depravity points you have stored up, you get a passive abilities. 12 up, you can run and still charge. 24 up, you get crit mortal. And 36 up, you get a ward of 5 up. Slick Blade Seeker is 4 health, 12-inch move, 5 up save, control 1. The Glaive attack is 3 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, rend 1 damage. Charge gives an extra damage. And the Poison Tongue, 3 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, no rend 1 damage. Unrivaled Velocity, as you can reroll charge rolls for this unit. And surprisingly does not have a ward. I was kind of expecting that. But that's it for the Hedonites. Battle traits for the Cruel Boys, you've got this ability called Dirty Tricks, which you can use once per phase. Then you roll a dice, and you get to do the ability on the dice roll on a 2-up for the first time you try and do it in a battle round, 3 up for the second, 4 up for the third, 5th up for the fourth. And then Lethal Surprise, so these are what they are. There's Lethal Surprise, which is picking an enemy unit that charged and is in combat with Cruel Boys, inflict D3 mortal damage, and their charge abilities that give +1 damage don't apply. Once per turn in your hero phase, you can pick a friendly Cruel Boys infantry, and then they score crits on 5-ups instead of 6-ups. In the movement phase, pick an infantry unit with 10 or fewer models, remove them, set them up within 3 inches of a terrain feature, more than 9 from enemies. Or in the combat phase, Noisy Racket, you can give an enemy strike last. Battle formations, you've got the Cruel Boys Claw with this passive Swamp Shroud. Friendly Cruel Boy units that are wholly within 3 inches of a terrain feature are not visible to enemy units that are more than 12 inches away from them. And spell Choking Mist, casting value of 7. Pick a friendly Cruel Boy Wizards, pick an enemy unit with an 18, make a casting roll of 2d6, and subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of the target's weapons until the start of your next turn. Gobsprak has 14 health, 12-inch move, 5-up save, control 5. The Demon Finger Staff, 3 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, no rend, d3 damage, and is anti-wizard and crit mortal. Killabeak's Talons, 7 attacks, 4 up, 2 up, rend 1, 2 damage, is anti-wizard. Killabeak's Stinger, 1 attack, 3 up, 2 up, rend 1, d6 damage, crit mortal. While he's taking 10 or more damage, 5 attacks with his Talons. Once per battle, when your opponent casts a spell, you can unbind with a 3d6 instead of a 2d6. You basically can roll a dice in any combat phase, and if the roll exceeds the health, a model from the target unit is slain. Anytime he unbinds a spell, you do d3 mortal damage, unless you roll over a 10, in which you do d6 mortal damage. Casting value 6 spell, you pick an enemy unit within 18 inches. For the health characteristic, you roll that many dice to a max of 10. For each 4-up, inflict a mortal damage, and then he's a wizard 2 and has a ward of a 6-up. Kill a boss on Great Gnashtooth, 10 health, 10-inch move, 3-up save, control 2. The Boss Sticker, 4 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage, crits mortals. Great Gnashtooth Jaws, 5 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage. Passive is That's Ours You Get. When this unit is contesting an objective you do not control, add 1 to hit rolls made by friendly Cruel Boys infantry wholly within 12 inches. And in your hero phase, all part of the plan, pick another friendly Cruel Boys unit wholly within 9 inches, add 3 to their control score, so really useful in grabbing objectives. The Merknob with Belcha Banner, 6 health, 5-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. Merknob Cleaver, 4 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage, crits mortals. Passive is the Power of Cragness. Friendly Cruel Boy units have a ward of 6 up, wholly within 12 inches of them. And in any combat phase, you pick each enemy unit in combat with this unit to be targets. On a 1, the ability has no effect. On a 2 to 5, inflict 1 mortal damage. On a 6, inflict d3 mortal damage. Gut Rippers have 2 health, 5-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. The Sticka, or Haka, is 2 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, no rend, 1 damage, crits on mortals. And then in combat phase, they have the Scare Tactics ability. where you roll a dice on a 3-up, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by non-hero units that target this unit for the rest of the turn. Pretty standard infantry unit, with some nice twists with the scare tactics. For Spearhead, you have the Swamp Skulka Gang, where you get once per battle in any combat phase, you get the Cruel Boys Wog. Pick your general, then pick another friendly unit wholly within 12. Your general on the target has to strike first this turn. And then the Beast Skewer Killbow, 5 health, 5-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. The Beast Skewer Bolts, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, d6 damage, crit is auto wound. And Jaggedy Blades, 2 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage, crit is mortal. Passive is Skewered. The damage characteristic is a 6 instead of a d6 if the target is a monster. I feel like this unit would be pretty easy to shoot down with other artillery pieces, but can be really powerful against monsters, but I think that would struggle against Seraphim personally. Soul Blight battle traits, you've got once per turn. At the end of any turn, you pick Vampire that's used to fight, heal d3 to them, heal 2d3 if they killed their target. You can put Death Rattles or Dead Walkers up into the grave, bring them out wholly within 6 inches of terrain features, 9 inches away from enemies. Once per turn in any hero phase, you pick a hero and then a Death Rattle, 3 Death Rattle or Dead Walker units, heal 3 or bring back up to 3 health worth of models. And then once per turn for a command point in any movement phase, you can basically replace a unit rounding up, half of it rounding up, wholly within 12 inches of an enemy or wholly within 6 inches of a terrain feature, and if it's in your movement phase, they only have to be 3 inches away instead of 9 inches away, but can't charge. The Death March battle formations, you've got the Tide of Bones and Blades, add 1 to the rend by friendly Death Rattle units that charged, for attacks that target a unit that has fewer models than the attacking. And then the Lore of Undeath, casting value 7, Vile Transference, pick a Soul Blight Gravelord's Wizard, pick an enemy unit with an 18, and that has not been picked by this spell, and make your casting roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in the target unit. For each 6-up, inflict 1 mortal damage. If any enemy models are slain by the spell, heal d3 to the caster. Radukar the Beast has 12 health, 8-inch move, 4-up save, control 5, Blood Slit Claw, 6 attacks, 3-up, rend 2, 3 damage, crit is mortals. And Virkos Bloodborne's Piercing Blades, 6 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. The passive is Called to the Hunt. If it charges turn, add 1 to wound rolls for friendly Death Rattle, Dead Walkers, and Virkos Bloodborne while they're wholly within 12. Once per turn at the end of any turn, the beast will out. If this unit is not in combat, it can move it can move a d6, it can move into combat. And Armor of the Knight, casting value of 6. Subtract 1 from hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks that target this unit for the rest of the turn. And he's got a ward of 6-up, Wizard 1. Lorca Vi has 11 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. The Escourger Rapier, 5 attacks, 3-up, rend 2, 2 damage. Gorge Wrench Talons, 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 3, 3 damage. Passive is subtract 1 from the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by enemy units while they're in combat of this unit. Once per turn in any combat phase. If this unit charged, pick an enemy unit in combat, roll a dice. If the dice is equal to or greater or less than the target's health characteristic, inflict the amount of mortal damage to the target equal to the roll. And then casting value 6 spell, the Queen's Dictate, pick a friendly Soul Blight Gravelord's monster, wholly within 12. Pick one of the target's companion melee weapons, add d3 to the attack's characteristics for the rest of the turn. Ward of 6-up and Wizard 1. Blood Knights have 3 health, 12-inch move, 3-up save, control 1. Their Templar weapons, 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Is anti-infantry and does an extra damage on the charge. The Nightmare's Hooves and Teeth, 3 attacks, 5-up, no rend 1 damage. And then passive of Riders of Ruin. When this unit moves, it can pass through models and enemy infantry units and can pass through the combat ranges of enemy infantry units. It cannot end a move in combat unless specified in the ability used. And Trample to Dust, pick an enemy unit that they have passed over on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll of a d3, and then has a ward of 6-up. Vargeist have 4 health, 12-inch move, 5 up save, control 1. They're murderous fangs and talons, 3 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage, crit or 2 hits. And once per turn in your movement phase, if it's not in combat, remove it from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 inches from all enemy units. And then a ward of 6 up. Really powerful redeploy ability. Kind of crazy, guaranteeing a possible turn 1 charge. The Spearhead rules, you've got the Bloodcrave Hunt, Death's Descent. Your Vargeist is not set up during the deployment. Instead, from the 3rd battle round, it can swoop down, set it up anywhere on the battlefield, more than 6 from enemy units. And then passive is the Hunger. Each time a friendly vampire unit uses a fight, after all of its attacks have been resolved, heal X that vampire unit, where X is the number of damage points allocated by those attacks, so your vampires can heal quite a bit. And then Death Rattle Skeletons, they do not have the reinforcements because they have an even cooler rule. 1 health, 4-inch move, 5 up save, control 1. Ancient weapons, 2 attacks, 4 up, no rend, 1 damage. But in any combat phase, for each slain model from this unit, make a Legion roll of d6. For each 5 up, return a slain model to the unit. And they've got a ward of 6 up, so pretty resilient unit.